If you've clicked to watch this video, I guess you've got no funds, but you are somehow a goal getter inside of you. So we are going to come up with methods wherein you can embark on the money-making journey and unleash the goal getter part of you. And the good thing is you are going to be doing this with little or no money at all. And when we talk of the little money part, we are talking of something not more than $10. So this video is suitable for those who've been dreaming all this while and haven't taken action yet. So I've got you covered, alright? You know, here we can do anything for you all to make sure that in the long run you attain your financial independence. And even right now, why not? So as a goal getter, there is something I want you to know. There is a saying in French that ne renvoie pas à demain ce que tu peux faire aujourd'hui, meaning literally that there's no need postponing anything that you could do today, alright? For you don't know what you are going to be meeting on your way, you know. The more time passes, the more things change, the more obstacles come your way. So why wait for tomorrow if you can do it today? So this is that video that is here to motivate any goal getter out there who hasn't got a penny to spend, but who is actually ready to make some money and attain financial independence. So the good news I have for you is that it is very possible and with little or no money at all. So today, goal getters, I am going to be talking to you about time-based businesses. Yes, so I will be talking to you about 4 time-based businesses that you can start with no dollar or with as little as $10. So if you're excited just as I am right now, please start by liking this video already and let's go straight into it. And if you are new here, my name is Elvin Jig and my mission on this channel is to make sure that you attain your financial independence as soon as possible, and we are starting right now. So like I said, we are talking of time-based businesses here. That is, all you need is to sacrifice your time, and that is be available. We are talking here of availability. So your time, your availability are the main things you need for these businesses. So on the channel, I've been talking about all sorts of businesses that you need huge capital to start. That is industrial businesses or production businesses that really need lots of money. Some that have to do only with your knowledge or skills. And today I am talking about some that have to do with your time. So it has to do with what I am going to be calling the middleman strategy. I've talked about the middleman strategy in a couple of my videos here, and I am going to be talking about it again today. And when it comes to the middleman strategy, there are lots and lots of ways to go about it. And today, when we talk of time-based businesses, the middleman strategy also steps in. So you could wear your coat of a middleman strategy to do things like run errands for people, be a personal shopper, be a delivery guy, and many more. So all you need to do is be very smart, alright? If you've not got the funds to start up a business, what you need to do or what you need to be very good at is being smart and snappy in whatever thing you are going to be doing, alright? So I am going to be going straight to these secret businesses that I want you to know of. So the first business here has to do with washing of cars. Yes. This is a business idea that might seem maybe trivial or not make sense at all to you, but hey, take time and listen to what I have to tell you, alright? This is something that a guy has actually done it right in front of me and on my own car, and I saw how profitable it was. So I actually experienced this 3 years back when we were still renting and living in a neighborhood with different people in the same building. So basically that type of building where there are different apartments that people are renting. So we had neighbors and almost everyone had a car. So there's this guy. Honestly, I don't really know where he was living. I don't know his house, but all I know is that he lived in the quarter, alright, in my vicinity. So this guy wasn't living in our building, but he came to our building, and I guess he did the same thing maybe in other buildings around because there were lots of similar buildings in that vicinity. So this guy came to our building and offered to be washing cars of all the car owners in that building and was to be paid weekly or upon service or per car wash. So as far as I could remember, everyone in the building subscribed because it was obviously a great deal, because taking your car to a car wash, and actually in our vicinity there was no car wash. So I don't know if that's what maybe encouraged that guy to bring that service. There was no car wash in our vicinity. We had to literally go to the next street or 2 or 3 streets away, or at the junction very far away from our home, to wash our car. So this guy's offer was very timely and a good deal basically. So we had to subscribe to that service with all our neighbors. So we literally paid 1,000 per wash. That is 3 times a week, because we washed 3 times. I don't know if the other neighbors washed 3 times or maybe more. I don't know. So let's take an average of 3 times a week. So 1,000 times 3 made it 3,000 per week. So we had about 3 other neighbors. So that is 4 neighbors, or altogether all of us, we were 4 dealing with him. So if you make a rough calculation, you are going to be having about 3 times 4 people per week gives about 12,000 francs per week. So I was talking in francs CFA. So what I meant is he used to wash for about $2 and he used to wash 3 times a week. So if I take the other 3 cars, that's altogether 4 cars. So if you take $2 per wash times 3 times a week, it gives you about $6. So if we make the maths with the other neighbors, it's giving $6 times 4 people. So the guy literally made about $24 per week, which is not negligible in Africa, right? So that guy made that money from our building and probably had other buildings that he used to do the same there. So he would come like 4:30, 5:30 very early in the morning when he knows that everyone is still there, and wash the cars. And it didn't really take him lots of time, all right? Maybe in an hour or 1 hour, 30 minutes, he's done washing all the cars and he could go to the next building and do the same and make money. So imagine that guy maybe having 3 of such buildings in that area. So let's just assume he had other clients maybe in other buildings, and let's just take a minimum of 10 clients, all right? And imagine washing someone's car and having your $6 per week times the 10 customers you have. That gives you about $60 per week, which is not negligible. And I believe he had more clients because his service was so irresistible, because generally a full car wash would cost about $6, and which is what he offered you for a whole week. That is washing your car 3 times. So he basically washed the cars for lower than half the price normal car washes would do. So his offer was so irresistible that people subscribed obviously more. So go-getters, I thought of sharing this with you because I think it was a smart move from that guy. And another thing you could do, if you are a student, this business is very suitable for you, all right? And another thing I would advise you do during the holidays to make more money is you could wake up in the morning and do this, and during the day you go and subscribe to a car wash, all right? You maybe get registered in a car wash and also do some washing there and get paid a commission per wash. And like I said, a regular car wash will cost about $6. So if you are given, let's say, $2 per car wash and the owner retains $4, you are going to be making lots of money. If you just maybe wash 5 cars per day there in the car wash, you come up with your $10 per day. So imagine doing that for a week. Let's say you want to rest, let's say out of the 7 days a week, you do that just 5 days in a week. We are talking here of during holidays, right? And if you aren't a student, you could basically do it throughout, depending on the amount of money you want to raise to start up a good investment or a huge something. You are going to be working according to your project. So let's assume you are washing maybe 5 days in a week in a standard car wash, and you get your commission of, let's say, a minimum of $10 per day. That literally gives you $50. So if you take your $50 coupled up with at least the $60 I mentioned here, that gives you roughly $110, which is good enough for you to start attaining some little financial freedom and start making ends meet and start saving up for your tangible project. So for this car wash business, like I said, we are talking here of businesses that you could spend at most $10. So all you need to do is obviously buy maybe your bucket and your soap or cleaning products and your sponge and maybe a brush for the tires, and you are good to go, because obviously those buildings where you're going to be working, they've obviously got water, right? Because before you, they wash their cars with their own water at home. So you are going to be making use of their water to wash their cars. So all you are bringing is your few equipment and you are good to go. So imagine spending $10 to start off and make about $60 to $110 minimum, all right? So imagine if you are making $110, let's just assume you're even making $100 per week. So if we take that $100 per week times 4 weeks, we are talking here of a whooping $400. Isn't that wonderful, goal getters? And imagine being a student in Africa or whichever part of the world you are, or even just a stay-at-home someone, or maybe you are done with studies and you don't have a job yet and you are still on the job market, or you've got that dream business of yours and you don't have the funds to do it. This is a good way to kickstart, all right? Let's now go to the second business idea here, which is a little bit similar to the first, and it also has to do with your time and availability, all right? So this has to do with ironing services. Yes, most people don't really love to do laundry, but there are machines there to help them, all right? So there are people who've got their washing machines and they do the washing, but since the machine can't iron the dresses, they are obliged to do the ironing. And honestly, I haven't seen a handful of people who actually enjoy ironing. I am one of those people who hates ironing so much so that I would hurry and subscribe to such a service. So all you need to do with your $10 is to buy an iron, all right? Get yourself a good iron for $10 and you are good to go. That's all you need for this business. You just have maybe your handbag or your school bag or whatever. You put your iron in and you go to your workplace, which is your client's houses, and you do the ironing. So basically, you go sort out some houses in your vicinity or whichever place you want and offer your services to them that you are offering to iron their dresses for them. And all they need to do is to provide you with a surface where you can iron the dresses. It mustn't be in their homes because there are some people who don't feel comfortable having strangers around in their homes. They can do that, maybe set it up at the veranda or maybe at the yard or wherever. You go and do the ironing and get paid either per session or per week, or depending on how you are going to be agreeing with them, all right? So this is also that business that could make you good money. So you could agree with them that you could be maybe doing the ironing once a week, because you know ironing is something that you could do once a week or at most twice a week. So you've got many clients that you've sorted out and you maybe do weekly ironing in those homes and you are being paid for it. And let's say you charge only maybe $10 for ironing per home times the number of homes you have, you're going to be making obviously lots of money. Imagine securing maybe 10 homes. 10 times $10, you are obviously going to be making your $100 per week, and so on and so forth. So like I said earlier, goal getters, nowadays you just need to be smart and you are going to be making lots of money. There is no reason actually for someone to just sit and cross their arms and say that they can't make ends meet, or they can't make money, or they don't know how to make money, or they don't have money to make money. You don't always need money to make money, all right? The third and fourth options are those options wherein you don't need to spend a franc and you are obviously going to be making huge sums of money. That's just to prove to you that nowadays you don't necessarily need to own a franc in order to make a franc. So that takes us to the next one. But before we do that, like this video already if you are finding value in it, and please share it with your loved ones. If you're a student out there, be kind enough to share it with your classmates, your friends, your family members, and everyone, so that everyone could tap from this business opportunity, all right? These are businesses that don't really take effort and don't really take money. So why keep the secret to yourself? Share it as much as possible in order to help others out there and also help the channel grow, right? Wouldn't you like to see Africa Today grow more and more? So sharing those videos helps us grow, liking the videos helps us grow, and also indicates to YouTube that we are doing something great, all right? So that said, let's go straight to the next one. So this is one of my favorites, and this is positioning yourself as a car dealer. Yes, we talked of middleman strategy, right? So this is a middleman in car dealing. You are going to be positioning yourself as a middleman when it comes to selling of cars. So what are you going to be doing? You are going to go closer to car owners or car dealers, that is people who sell cars, and offer your services to them, making them know that you could bring some clients to them in exchange for a commission. commission. So this is something equally that I have seen done by a guy, and it was very lucrative. So actually we met this guy on Facebook, all right? This is when we were about to sell our first car to upgrade it to the next car that we wanted. So this guy, we actually randomly went to Facebook and we were just posting that we wanted to sell our car, all right? So this guy contacted us, letting us know that he could help us sell the car. That was just like 15 minutes after posting the car. That's immediately he was the first person to reach out to us. Lots of other people reached out to us, but he was the first person to reach out to us. And he was so efficient that he took us immediately to a client that bought the car immediately. So we didn't have to go through the stress of maybe showing the cars to others or whatnot. We had a buyer directly. And this is because that guy was so efficient, and I am going to be sharing the secret with you here. So this guy was so smart enough to actually gain on both sides. I actually admired him so much, and I was like, what a smart guy. So if you are wondering what he did, let me explain to you in details what that guy did. He didn't tell me what he did, all right? I actually deduced it by myself. You know, I'm a goal-getter and I'm a smart person, and I am good at noticing certain things. And when I notice those things, I don't hesitate to share it with you all, my lovely goal-getters. So this is what happened. When that guy contacted us, we went straight to the client he was talking about. So he told us, oh, he has a serious client who wants exactly this car that we are selling, and that his client is someone who knows what he wants and who doesn't waste time bargaining. And that was actually true, all right? So, you know, as a car dealer or as a middleman, he studies his clients and knows how to evaluate his clients. He knows which client is good, is going to buy, or is just there to disturb, or is just to make inquiries. He knows all of those things. So when he said that his client has the ready money and wants exactly the car we were selling, we thought, wow, why not go straight away to that person? So that's how we went to the man. And just like he said, the man was very responsible and just sitting gently, not talking, and let the guy do everything. Here's the secret, guys. The guy told us before we reached there that we are going to be giving him a 10% commission, all right? Can you imagine? Which we agreed, all right? Because, you know, in Africa, we are used to bargaining, all right? So when we gave our price tag, we thought maybe the guy would say, all right, my client has this or has that. No, the guy didn't bargain. He just said, all right, no problem. My client is going to take it. I know my client will take it, hands down. So there was no room for any bargain. And why not give him the 10%? Because in business, normally you need to at least tip the person who is dealing with you or give them a commission, which is something normal, all right? So we agreed to the 10% commission. And once we reached there, everything went on smoothly like we predicted. The man didn't argue. The man just asked for his mechanic to check the car, and the car was checked, and the man did the payment there cash, all right? So we took the money, and the guy asked us to excuse him and went to see the man for a few minutes in an angle. And your girl saw from the way they were talking money, all right? And I actually saw the way the man actually removed something to give him, right? And being in business for some time, I know it's obviously something like the 10% equally or even more, all right? Because at times when we are charging commission, generally some people will take more commission from the buyer because they are making the buyer to know that they are rendering them a service that they really need and that they really can't do without them. So when the seller is giving you a commission, the seller is more of giving it like to compensate you or to thank you. So with the seller, they aren't so strict. So the man would have obviously given him a minimum of 10% as well. So the guy actually gained 10% from us and at least 10% from the buyer. So see how someone makes good money for himself without spending a dime. When I talk of spending a dime, he didn't spend a dime. The most that guy would have spent maybe is his transport to maybe come to the venue of the transaction, and that was it. And looking at the money he made from that transaction alone, the money he spent for transportation is peanut, right? So these are some of the things you could do as a go-getter out there to make money for yourself. All you need to do is to be smart. We've got our social media accounts, we've got our phones, all right? You could actually sell even from your WhatsApp status. You just need to go to car sellers and take their cars and post them on your your WhatsApp status or your Facebook pages or Instagram business pages, Facebook business pages, basically everywhere you want. If you want to deal specifically in cars, you could open your car page where you advertise cars for sale and earn a good commission for yourself. Now on to the fourth business idea, which is similar to the previous one, to the car dealing business. We are talking here of a realtor. Now you are going to be a middleman but in land sales. All right, so the concept is basically the same like the car dealer concept or the car middleman concept. The only difference is that here you are dealing with land, so you basically do the same thing. You go closer to landowners, let them know that you can sell their land for them in exchange for a commission, and you get your commission from both sides. Generally, when it comes to land, the standard commission is 5%. You get in total 10%. All right, you are getting 5% commission from the buyer and 5% commission from the seller, and at the end of it still amounts to a lot of money, because when we talk of land, we are talking here of huge sums of money. So don't neglect the 5% commission we are talking about here from both sides. That gives you a 10%, which is pretty much all right. Imagine selling a land for maybe, let's just say, $100,000 or $200,000 and making 5% commission on both sides. 10% commission from $100,000 land is a whooping $10,000. Then imagine making $20,000 from a $200,000 land sale. So the profit is actually a lot without you spending anything. Like I say, all you spend in this business is your time and your energy. That's all. You just need to have your phone and you are good to go. And even if you don't have a phone, you can still do the mouth-to-mouth promotion of your business. But obviously, who doesn't have a phone nowadays? You've got a phone, right? So there are ways and ways of making money without spending a dime, and I've given you the most lucrative ones. All right, so at this point, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up, I don't know what your problem is, because I believe this video is so rich for someone who is going to be spending no franc or $10 maximum. This video is so rich that I would love you all to give a big thumbs up to this video and share it massively so that many people can gain from this video. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.